So, if we are the last of a dying breed, this speech is like every generation starts and then it dies. So, I want to believe my generation hustled mentally, physically, they make moves. We're the last of a dying breed. Because what we're seeing from our youth is a complete opposite. And that's not a good thing because our elders did not impart correctly resources for us to impart the knowledge, all of us. Because most people my age, 36 into 37, they're not in a good shape. The youth, they're not in a good shape. They've been abused, abandoned. So, being the last of a dying breed, I can understand that, it's sad for what comes after the black youth. If the black elders don't align some of their stories, because some will hate me personally, will hate you personally. On a personal matter, it don't even matter. What matters is the collective. What happens? With time, what happened to that consciousness? It dies. So what are you expecting from the government is very important to understand. What plans have you set in place to get you going without expecting the government first? Because last of a dying breed, you hustle your way, still aligning within the structures of government, but it does not really bother you. Are you improving yourself and your skills? Because that's very important to find happiness eventually, because many people are hoping and praying for what? Right now, it all depends on which church you're praying at. Because reaching God is not just as easy as just a prayer like that. It's how you live, it's how you survive. What goals have you reached actually in life? Because many people talk about the government don't reach goals, but have you reached any goals? Because it's very important to ask ourselves those questions, because expecting the government to come and put say for example, a toilet for me and electricity, am I expecting them to pay for that electricity and that water? How exactly is it going? So our expectations are very important to understand. Have we reached ever any goals in our lives? To understand actually reaching a goal, we have to appreciate, then we meet in between with whoever we're dealing with. You have to meet in between. That's business. That's why a street is never one way for cars that are coming that way and going this way. There's two ways to not cause congestion, even in network routing things, all that stuff. So playing fair and teamwork is always important. You reach your goals and then demand others to reach goals. But see, once you reach your goals, you won't even care about what others are actually trying to reach, because you're already on a level of your own. Can someone reach a goal for you? They can't. Success is not the same. That's why someone cannot reach your goals. Maybe you want to have a big house on top of the mountain. The person next to you, maybe all they want is a little van packed with everything in life good. Maybe someone just want to live in the wilderness, and that's all success. So how you define success, how you say I'm successful, and all of that it's very important to understand the next person does not look at success that way, So it's clarify, articulate, and move those goals correctly. That's important. Black pride, hustle different, and grow out of colonial mindset. Grow out of blaming white people. Grow out of blaming Indians. Grow out of blaming Pakistanis, Zimbabweans, South Africans. Whoever you want to blame, don't blame them. Blame yourself. See, how does that feel like? Look into the mirror and say, you the fault why I'm not progressing. You. Because you cried too much, you mourn, and you wake up with anger. I'm waking up with disgust. I'm waking up with you must give me, So how is that ever actually going to work? How is that ever going to work? So there has to be pride to get that slave chain in the mind to come out, so that you can actually have that black pride, that human pride, as other people has pride. Many people here, people admire, they just have pride, they have peace, they have love in their hearts. So that goes a long way. For Zimbabweans who thinks, and even South Africans, but Alib just speaks, he just sits there and just speaks nice, and he thinks the world is whatever. Nah, man, look, even if I was in Zim, we have a school there. So if I go to Zimbabwe sometimes, not even sometimes, I can choose to where I live. So normally I'm in Harare, and I normally give technical scientific lessons to the from Form 1 to Form 6. Yeah, so whatever they want to know, I normally ask what is the curriculum like and stuff, then I just start to help. And this is actually our family school, so I can be doing a lot there. I can be farming, we have a lot of land there, be it my families, be it directly fathers or families, I can literally just go into farming. We can start to do businesses as soon. I could have moved with the religion, because remember, I went to Ikra Darul Ilm, learned a few things, learned actually not even a few things, we learned a lot, learned how to survive, how to live life guided. And I could have moved the whole Saudi Arabia route if I did not make my way to South Africa. I chose to grow here because for me South Africa was more a dream. I just saw it in a dream, literally, and my family, most of them, they were here. So coming here wasn't like running from Zim, because I was at the school, taking care of good friends, but something in my path just moved me, as I explained the other time. So Last of a Dying Breed is a big hassle, because if you're not, then a lot of factors stops you from hustling to your potential to actually say, you know what, I am the last of a dying breed, man. I hustle hard. So these are the few things that will lack from that, and why people will cry, blame someone, something, because their minds are weak minds, defeated mentality. So already you wake up, you're already defeated. That donor mentality, give me, can someone send us this, sponsor me this, do this, that laziness attitude. We got a lot of lazy people, want to live a good life for not working for it at all. Just give me the good life. Work? No, what work? Corruption. How many billions, millions goes to one party, to one person? Wicked thoughts and behavior, jealousy and hate, lack of faith, lack of self-growth and love, and even acknowledgement, expectations from others, drugs, sales to our people, the intake of drugs and the distribution, so we harm our own. So black consciousness dies. Lack of understanding of death, life, physical, and the unseen chapters of how this whole life is just governed by that spiritual energy. And what we touch, feel, see, barely exists like that until it's in its spiritual form. So YOLO, they said, I never vouch to that. You only live once. No, you don't. Physically you will, yes, but spiritually not at all, because the spirit never dies. So for an African, you can never live your life in that order, because maybe you're just going against the order of your existence. So then going against the alignment of how you are supposed to be happy stops you from growth, stops you from business alignments, stop you from articulating actually where is your next big meal, where is your next big check. If whatever you want in life you can get. But people think that it's so easy. If I tell you that I've been working with the same partners for the past 15 years, people don't understand that. It's going 16, 17 years almost. 10 years, 11 years. My relationships, my friends are old friendships that I've made through time, and I work hard to maintain that for free. There's major love for free. Appreciate people for free. You know. So being the last of a dying breed, there's a lot that is inside you that you know that matters, that people can see. You know, so those attributes that makes you tick, that makes you move there and there, that makes you do that and that and that and that, it's always going to be a mystery. And that is always forever. Hence why it's important for us to create beautiful things, merge, love, appreciate, you know. Do things that makes the human people progress to be a beautiful thing together. You win any battle, you know. You go to war with weapons and stuff like that. I go there with a bunch of love. We win that. Because your wars, World War One, World War Two, whatever you spiking has been fought with guns, ammunition, this and that and that. My wars are fought with love and they always win, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, I've got so much appreciation for people, and I was always, you know, that kid who born reciting verses and knowing God and knowing people, but you grow that more and more and more and more and more. You can lose that. You can lose the smile. I lost the smile at some point. I wasn't smiling the way I do. But when I found my peace, I smile for real, you know. I appreciate y'all, and y'all should appreciate yourselves. It's important to progress. Wherever you are, whoever you are, feel great. Work hard for yourself, for people around you, for those you love. Because when you do that, life makes sense. What you couldn't see, you see. What you couldn't do, you do. Where you couldn't go, you now go. Who you couldn't talk to, you can now talk to. What you couldn't access, you can now access. The mind will get you to access a lot of things. Your hard work will get you out to access anything in life. Because remember, you're dealing with people. So people has keys to different gates, doors. So you have to be a good person, move correctly. Don't vandalize, don't do illegal things. Don't distract, don't be distractful. Don't self-destruct. Allow yourself to wake up and say, this is the day I, as an African kid, start to realign my spiritual consciousness to really know where I'm supposed to be going to find my happiness. Because when I find that happiness, it's forever. The body will stop, it doesn't matter. Whatever liberty has created is forever. You know, they'll always be watching this. They'll always be listening to this. And to me, it doesn't matter if I'm watching them doing it. See, spiritual consciousness and confidence allows me to know that I feel that they feel this. And they are within this. I don't create for millions of people. I create for the people who are supposed to go back to the source. The source. So spiritual consciousness is important to me because that's what routes back to the source. Last of a dying breed. You have to hustle harder. Yes, you have to hustle harder. You have to have pride, and you have to cut ego. You have to be happy with yourself and whatever you are trying to do. When you fail, you have to give yourself a chance to wake up and try again and again and again. You know, you have to understand you may fail 100 times to win the 101, but when you win on 101, you're never gonna fail again like that. Even what people call failing is not really, because you just recalculate. There's no joy in life than knowing yourself, who you are, how you move, how you should articulate. If you don't know that, go to someone who can help you with that, because that's the best gift life will ever give you. You don't even want nothing if you don't understand it. You don't want no wealth if you haven't worked for it. You don't want none of this. It's dangerous. So you only want what you should want because you have worked for what you want. That's the time you're allowed to want, and then want and want. On that note, we give thanks. Blessings.